I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
I have some loose ends to tie up from last week.
That's good, because you don't want things dangling around the place like that.
No, I mean, I don't think anyone sat on the edge of their seats, but they're loose ends for me nonetheless.
Well, you never know. You never know.
You never know. First one, we'll tick this one off nice and easy. Mini is fixed.
Oh, tremendous.
I have a full complement of illuminations.
Lovely.
Yes. So, yeah, we're all good. Finally all dealt with. One little bell end was in the footwell. Fixed that. Then swapped out all of the broken bulbs. And now we are fully legal once again.
Excellent. So you can waft around in the dark.
I can, yeah. And it's since had a brief use this week. So it had one... After being sat for probably a couple of weeks after discovering the issue, it had what can only be described as an Italian tune-up.
Very good.
Yes. Well, it needed that really, and it's no good leaving a car to sit, is it? We've learned this.
No, it just causes trouble, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does.
Right.
Yeah. So it had a damn good thrashing, all within the confines of the speed limit, but let's just say all of the revs we used on the way to the speed limit.
To the speed limit, yes. Yeah. There you are. There's no acceleration limit.
Yes. No, that's true. But what it swiftly became is going, I've reached the 60 mile an hour speed limit. I've only used 2 of the gears to get here. Excellent.
We're all done. Yes.
But it's doing all right.
Very good. We like a Mini.
Yeah, back to working order, and now I really just need to build up to actually getting the clutch change right.
It's the clutch now, isn't it? Yes, and then we can do our big comparison, our bench test.
Yes, because we had the got the clutch fluid bled a bit just to get a bit more life out of it, but yeah, that's papering over the cracks, as we've said before.
It's going to need doing, isn't it? Yes, at some point.
Yeah, but we'll get to that. So that's fine. But at the moment, in working order, all is well.
Tremendous. Also, good to know.
Also, we're pleased to know that today, actually, this morning, I received the Le Mans tickets that I was threatening were going to arrive. Yep. So we have... the full travel pack has arrived. We've got all of our gubbins in there and
tickets and the strange camp bed.
That's it. I think. Well, you say this now, but being a hermit, obviously, I do need to buy exceedingly high factor sun cream yet. That's a must.
You'll sear like a tuna out there. Yes.
That needs addressing fairly quickly, but I've ticked off. I can't remember if I said last week. I've got the bed. I got the new walking shoes, which I've been breaking in.
Of course you have.
Of course I have. I'm all over this. This is not my first time.
No, you take this very seriously. I'll give you that.
Yeah. So I've got the height of comfort to lie on. Really comfortable shoes now that I've been giving them a thorough going over. What else did I buy? More power banks to charge my many things.
You can. Yeah, don't be left without power.
No, you look like a right dick.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else. I have got myself. I always take my trusty old Sony radio. I've got a little portable one that slips in the pocket, and I've had it for years. It's brilliant. And I will never be without it, because it's a must when you go to any motorsport event. They always have the little localized FM broadcast. So
right, okay, yeah, can't do that with an app.
No, you can't. Well, you probably can.
Probably can, to be fair. Yes,
but doing that all day on your smartphone is going to inhale battery, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to be dead as a doorknob.
Well, anything as well. Every smartphone these days, you wouldn't possibly come with a headphone jack, so you're going to be using Bluetooth headphones, which also then need charging. You go, nope, I have got this trustier one, which you put a battery in it. And then you plug your headphones into it, and the battery
What
then lasts subsequently for the next sort of 2 to 3 years.
What a concept. And does the headphone plug adhere to some standards that other radios, say, may have also adopted?
Yeah, you
Because
can
that
plug
seems
it.
to have disappeared in the mobile phone industry as well.
What you can do is you can plug it into most audio devices.
Wow, what a concept.
But I've gone a little bit more high tech. Not deferred from Sony though, because they are the go-tos. But I've got a tiny little USB Walkman as well, still with a headphone jack, with a 78-hour battery, I think it was.
Oh, that'll do you.
Yeah. So not only have you got your banging tunes, but it's also still to this day got an FM radio built into it.
Oh, tremendous.
And it's considerably smaller than the old radio. So everything's coming with me. I'm going to probably trial that one for one day just to make sure it's all right. But take the old trusty one as the backup.
You are well set up here, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I'm every year I think it's all about packing a little bit lighter. Just a little
okay. So you're refining.
Not so much stuff to take to the campsite. That's fine. I mean, load the car up, but be my guest. However, wandering around for the day with your backpack on, I don't want that too heavily loaded. And more importantly, you don't want to take up valuable beer space in your rucksack with other shit.
Yes, this is true.
Yes.
Yeah, you've got to pack smart there. Yeah.
You do. I mean, there are a couple of crucial things. I know we've said it before, but for wandering around Le Mans, you want your couple of beers. You definitely still want your bottle of water.
Yeah.
Your backup little pot of sun cream, and you want copious amounts of bog roll because being French toilets, why would they have them? Yeah. Well, they're as simple as that. We've got a British-run campsite, and it's very well organised for a proper travel provider, and it's by far one of the sort of more upper end ones. They have well-appointed toilets and wonderful. But as soon as you stray out of that arena into the circuit territory, then you go, ooh, yeah, this is not good.
You're in French territory now, and they have a they have a particular attitude towards the toilet, don't they? Yes.
They don't really care.
No.
I can't remember if I said as well, but one of the years I was there, the whole thing is run really well. And as part of your entry fee, you can use the free bus shuttles to get to sort of further pieces of the circuit because it is quite big. For instance, you can get free bus shuttle to Arnage Corner and then on to Mulsanne Corner.
Nice.
And when I was last there, we went all the way out to Mulsanne, and the bus drops you off, and you have to walk through the forest to get to the corner because there's no direct access, which is fine. It's only like a 5-minute walk. It's not the end of the world. And there's a really nice footpath. But someone's thought about it. It's not just to pick your way through the trees type job. And with it being quite thick forest, a couple of people did take the opportunity to dart off into the ample tree cover and have a crafty piss.
Okay.
I mean, absolutely fine. It's one of those things. It's not going to hurt anyone. It's only a bit of piss.
There's the episode title.
Yeah. Only a bit of piss. Oh dear. A French gentleman in front of me decided that while we were walking towards Mulsanne Corner, that he did need to relieve himself.
Okay.
And unlike other people who were doing the same thing of using the ample tree cover,
taking full advantage of the natural cover.
Exactly that. Yes. Mr. Bond was correct. The gentleman in question did no such thing. When he decided it was time to go, he stopped on the footpath, turned 90 degrees to his left, and started pissing. And go, you're still on the footpath here, mate.
dear.
People were walking round him as he pissed.
Oh.
It's like, for goodness sake.
That's going a bit far, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, and what was one of those things going, is it urgent? You go, no, it's not urgent, because he dithered and messed about, and you go, what is he doing? And you go, oh, right, that's what he's doing.
He's right.
He can't be asked to walk at least a few feet towards some trees. He'll just... Oh,
dear, what kind of people are these?
Oh, it's bad.
That's not nice. You don't need to see that.
But yeah, it's kind of that no holds barred thing of going, right, if that happens in the outdoors, you can imagine what's happening in the toilets.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. So, yeah, always keep a bog roll about your person.
Yeah, very wise.
In case.
Yes,
yeah. So that's it. I've been instructing my uncle about all these things because it's his first time we're taking him, and I've explained about all the things you need to purchase, all the things you need to avoid.
You can write a manual on this.
Yeah, and I can't remember if we said it before on here as well. You must avoid the red sausages. You must.
Oh, I think you might have mentioned that. Yeah.
Yes, explosive bodies.
Yes.
Yeah, don't eat those.
Don't eat a red sausage. No. Okay.
No. So there you go.
Okay, that's good advice. That it's important.
That's another potential for the episode name, isn't it?
Don't eat the red sausage.
Oh dear.
And people can interpret that however they feel necessary. Yes,
there's no interpretation needed. It's a particular style of sausage they serve there, and what it does is it causes digestive distress.
Right.
Yeah. So
to the unsuspecting Englishman.
Well, it's not specifically English, but it's just anyone who consumes it seems to just go, the world has just fallen out of my ass. Like, right, okay.
Oh dear, something bad's happened.
Yeah.
Right, yes, don't eat those then.
Don't eat those. That's a definite no. Right, all from me saying the tickets arrived today. Right, okay.
Yeah, who'd have thought? You're going to need your car back for that, aren't you?
Well, I'm not taking it to France.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No, but I might need it to get to Rob's.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah, but it's all right. It's okay. It's still 4 weeks away. It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, well, if the Mini continues to have all of its lights at the back, I might just take that. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
I haven't got to put 4 people's worth of stuff in it, only mine. So.
No, you just need a car to get to Rob's. You don't need necessarily the Volvo, but yes. Anyway, we'll sort that out. I'm nearly done with it. We'll sort that out.
We'll gauge it nearer the time. It's not a bother. Right. Excellent. Right. Let's get quickly away from horrendous Le Mans toilets where 250,000 people are evacuating themselves into them.
That's
the worrying statistics. That's on average 250,000 people turn up for that race, and you got to think, well, actually, per head, that's a worryingly small amount of toilets.
Yeah, it is actually, isn't it? Yeah, that's going to be horrible. Yes.
Which is also why you see the grotty little lorries that pump out the dumps.
Oh no!
They are on a worryingly quick cycle.
Begging the question, where are they pumping?
Yeah, where is the destination for all the poops?
Yeah.
Somewhere where you don't want to be, I would imagine.
I would think. Yeah. Ooh.
Oh. Yeah, because
I don't want to think about that.
That's bad, Nick. Because you think, well, basically everything opens Wednesday and closes Sunday. That's a lot to.
Yeah.
Oh. Right. No, you were going to tell us something. You tell us something. Quick, say something.
Well, funnily enough. Well, yeah, but it's not exactly, because it sort of leads on from
hell.
Because, as you know, we had some toilet incidents last week. And
Fortunately, with a freshwater feed rather than the
yes, not the no, that was
not the dirty soil.
Yeah. No, and there were no intestinal issues on that occasion. No. It was more a sort of pipe sprung a leak, but it afforded me an interesting automotive opportunity.
Okay, not what you'd expect.
Not what you'd expect. No, the afternoon took an interesting turn. Our friend who has recently taken delivery of a brand new Model Y Performance was over at the time, and we had to make a rather sharpish trip to a plumbing supply outlet, and that was the vehicle that was front and center on the driveway. So I got an impromptu opportunity for a go in a Model Y Performance.
Very good. Was it all you hoped for and more, or what are we thinking here?
I was very impressed with the fit and finish, certainly compared to my Model S. That has definitely come on a long way.
They're getting the hang of it.
A long way, yes. It felt very solid. No creaks and rattles. No loose bits of trim, which my Model S had from brand new. But the Y, it did. The Y.
Yeah. I'm not dismissing.
Yeah. The Y felt very solid. It felt really well put together. Performance was ridiculous, as you would imagine.
It says it in the name.
I suppose it does. Yeah. And he did put his foot down on a couple of occasions, and it happened. And the vehicles we were overtaking sort of just disappeared. And so it's certainly quick. Ride comfort, I thought, was perfectly acceptable. A lot of people have said the ride of the Model Y is quite hard. I didn't particularly think it was. This was the Performance Edition on 21-inch rims, so it's going to be the hardest ride you're going to get.
I'm assuming the Performance Edition does have a slightly stiffer setup.
Yeah, it has a slightly stiffer setup, and as I say, his is on the 21-inch wheels, so tyres just sort of painted on, really. And I thought it was fine, even on the terrible roads around here. Well, I say around here, I mean the roads all over the country are terrible.
Absolutely buggered, yes.
Yes. No, I thought it was fine. And generally, I thought, I don't think I'd have one, personally, but I was quite impressed.
Does that come down to the packaging?
Yeah, it does, yeah. I like the fact that it's a hatchback, but I'd have the Model S because that's a hatchback. In fact, the boot is slightly bigger on the Model S. So if you're looking at practicality,
Model S, I suppose you've raise a valid point. It's in terms of sort of wheelbase and overall sort of size. I'm assuming the S is still bigger, isn't it? Lengthwise, anyway.
Yeah, the S is a lot longer. I think there's only about an inch in it width-wise, mirror to mirror. So the Y is quite wide. Oh, there he goes. Did you hear him? There he goes.
Yes, nice.
Not the Model Y
again.
But
No. If it's the Model Y, something's broken quite severely.
If it sounds like that, something's come off and is dragging. So yeah, it's quite wide, but not as long as the S. And I just think the S is better looking. I know I'm not going to find any arguments from you on that one.
No, that's the problem again. They made that, and it was their best thing that they designed. I mean, we'll admit the Roadster because the first one didn't really exist for very long, and the upcoming one doesn't exist yet. So
no, and the original one was just a Lotus Elise. They didn't really design it. It was an Elise, wasn't it? That they just tweaked a bit. So they didn't.
God, hang on. Was it an Elise or was it an Evora?
No, it was an Elise. The Evora didn't exist. Talking 2010. It was an Elise.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, that's all right. That's okay. It's me being dense. I think it's just
The Evora didn't exist.
Did it not? When did the Evora become a thing?
I don't know. Let's have a look.
Oh, bloody hell!
You've asked for facts and figures now.
Hang on, I'm nearly there actually. I say I'm nearly there. I'm not as close as I'd like to be.
Oh, I tell a lie. It did come out actually in production. Started in 2009, but there were no customer deliveries until 2010. So it did exist. But no, the Roadster was definitely based on the Elise.
Okay, that's all right then. I'm happy with that. It's a good base. Yeah. Well done.
So it did. Oh yeah, although Elon has said it was a dreadful mistake. That it would have been easier to start afresh because they spent so long trying to make everything fit into the Elise package, and it really compromised it because there was really nowhere for any batteries to go, and it just. He said they thought it would be quicker to use an existing platform, but in practice, because it was so different technologically, they'd have been better off just starting again. But they didn't know that at the time. So
no, I suppose the concepts of the two cars are very different. You're going, right, we've got to package a lot of heavy things, and you got an Elise that's focused entirely on being as light as possible.
Yeah, they sort of went to the wrong people, really, didn't they, with Lotus? Because it's not really their thing. I suppose they were looking at them in terms of performance. They wanted something, small little sports car with, top performance. But it did, because of the batteries and motors, it had to carry some weight. And like you say, that's not really what Lotus do. So
no, that kind of undid all the hard work. Which
so they were constantly battling against the platform. That was the issue with it, and Elon has admitted it was a mistake. They should have just started afresh, but they didn't know that at the time. So
no, it got the foot in the door.
It saved them a lot of time in terms of having the platform. You come up with a new chassis and everything. You've got to have it tested and certified for road use, and there's a whole process you've got to go through. Whereas if you use an existing platform, you don't have to do that. So it's cheaper.
That's it. A bullet was dodged.
But he said they were constantly battling against the platform, which really in the end turned out to not be very suitable for what they were trying to do. But they thought it was the right thing to do at the time. But anyway, we digress somewhat. So no, I think if I had to choose, I probably wouldn't have a Y. I would probably have an S or a 3. But probably another S. But I have to say on the thing, so not entirely to my taste, and he's chosen the white interior, which is also not to my taste. I mean, Dawn would never get in it, but because it is really bright. It's really white.
You couldn't have an accident in there, could you?
It's an intense white. I'm not even sure you can wear a pair of jeans in there.
Oh dear. I mean,
but in terms of fit and finish, build quality, performance, I mean, it clearly they have learned how to put a car together. A massive improvement over my S, which was 6 years ago. They've clearly moved things on. That was very obvious. Really well put together. Yeah, really well put together.
So again, I mean, it's one of those ones where we both probably appreciate the tech and all of the sort of underpinnings, but probably
absolutely
not the packaging for us.
No, I don't think it is. I don't think. I mean, people who aren't particularly into EVs, I don't think a lot of them acknowledge that the tech is deeply impressive. It just is. You can't really sort of debate that. But whether the packaging is for you or not is, I mean, that's, I think I'd still have, of their current range, I would still choose an S. I would have another S. I think it just, it's the best looking, it's the most practical. I just think the S is such a good overall package.
Yeah. It's the most appealing.
It's got it all. It's kind of the next best thing to an estate car because it's got the load capacity of an estate car.
Mm-hmm.
I could get more in my Model S with the back seats down than I could in either of the estate cars I owned.
Yeah.
So it's an immense space.
That's very good.
But no, generally, I was very impressed by the Y. I thought they've clearly moved on and really improved things, and it was nice to have a little blast around in one.
Okay, that's all right then. Okay, well, is there any sort of danger you might get a little go in it? Because the one I've been waiting for going is still hasn't materialised.
Oh yeah, you were going to. Unlikely, I'd have thought, given that he doesn't even let his wife drive it. So
I see. All right.
So I would think probably not.
Say no more.
Say no more.
That's fine.
So no, probably not. But I've been a passenger in it at least, so that's a step in the right direction.
No, we're all protective about certain things. I've got a few guitars that other people aren't allowed to touch. So.
Well, there you are. You see, yes, exactly. No, I think the best thing we can do there is get ourselves down to Darts Farm when they have one of their drive it days.
Okay.
And have a blast in one down there.
Very good.
Yes.
Excuse an opening. That's
all going on, isn't it? Yeah.
It's time for an additional beverage.
Yeah, very good.
Very good. Right. Okay, then. What did I have? I have got for us. Well, there's a couple. There's one that was quite interesting, and there's one that, was just cringeworthy.
Okay.
It was the Miami Grand Prix at the weekend.
Okay. I was unaware of this.
That's okay. The race was fine. Not a classic, but not tedious either. Absolutely fine. The cringe-worthy element came to the fact that it was quite an American build-up to the start of the race.
Right.
And these are going to be sentences that no one really expected people to have to say. But what there was on the build-up to the race, rather than the usual sort of people milling around the grid, which there still was, and poor old Martin Brundle having to do the best he can. What it was when the drivers would kind of be getting into that point of we really need to sort of time for a bit of tunnel vision now, get focused. It's about to kick off. They had to go through an introduction process, which basically meant rather an intense song played by, not necessarily, I think there was some sort of backing track, but it was overlaid with classically trained musicians playing along. Which
right.
So this was kind of the background music. While you've got these classically trained musicians doing basically the best they can do in the situation of just playing quite a repetitive tune over and over, upon some sort of plinth, as if he were conducting it, but clearly wasn't actually conducting it. It was just some really basic arm flailing, was will.i.am.
Oh no.
So there it was pretending to conduct this. And then there was an MC where to introduce the drivers, and the MC was none other than LL Cool J.
Oh, it's getting better.
Who proceeded to introduce all the drivers, most of which were unamused about the entire thing. You could see from their faces of going, they would rather be anywhere else. But actually, probably more preferably with their helmet on in their car, sort of getting in the zone kind of thing. It's not been well received by anyone. Everyone's sort of gone, why is that a thing? Why has that happened? It's just a really weird situation for that to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
No. And to just add an insult to injury, during Martin Brundle's grid walk, famous tennis player Roger Federer was milling about.
Okay.
Mr. Brundle tried to grab him for an interview, but he went behind a roped area. Roger Federer wasn't ignoring him; he just didn't hear and went behind this roped area. And Jackie Stewart was happened to bump into Martin Brundle, and he's like,
"Oh, Jackie Stewart."
Yeah, and he's like, "Don't you worry, I'll go get him. I'll nip under, go get him, and bring him to you." At which point, bear in mind, Mr. Jackie Stewart is 83 years of age, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And among the Formula One elite triple world champion.
He's
very good.
He's
quite important and has very much earned his place in the history of the sport. Was proceeded to. There were some security guards trying to manhandle him out of this area.
Oh, dear.
You do realise you're on live telly and you're trying to remove a legend of the sport. Basically, if you had no context, what you're actually trying to do is remove an 83-year-old man who poses no threat whatsoever.
Yeah, it's quite bad even without the context.
Yeah, it's really bad. But in the end, he did manage to grab Roger Federer, and he came over for an interview and was more than happy enough to have a chat.
Oh, did you see the security guards in the background getting medical attention after they?
It's just, I can't believe it. Just going, what? This is not a good advert for the sport.
That's not good, is it? How could they not know who he was?
It's just, I don't know. I really don't. It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, that is bad. Like you say, it's bad anyway. It's doubly bad because it's him.
Yeah,
dear. I imagine those are probably not security guards anymore.
I mean, I'd like to think that, but I probably don't think the whole organisation of it all gives a toss.
That's a pity, isn't it?
Which is a shame, but there we go. Yeah, that's my little rant over. Right, let me drag it onto something that I thought I'm going to pose a question to you, but add a caveat to it, just so that I don't get a really default response from you.
Is this one of those questions where you know the answer if you don't put a caveat?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I know exactly the answer. So that's why I've caveated it, because I need you to really.
Oh, you make me think about something.
I mean, it's not going to be all evening for you to sign. However, right, my question to you is: if you had to pick a British Leyland car to own and run,
oh God,
what would it be? But you are not allowed to pick a Jag or a Rover.
I was going to say British Leyland is quite all-encompassing.
It is, but you're not allowed those two, because you'd have one of those. You'd end up with a Series 3 or an SD1, but you're not allowed. Yeah. So I was like, no, I need you to actually have an answer that's not obvious.
Okay.
Right. And just to be clear as well, British Leyland was in operation from 1968 until 1986.
Yes.
So just bear that in mind.
Oh, I'm bearing in mind.
So can I? Well, let me festoon you with some brands. Austin, obviously. Well, Leyland was actually a brand as well.
Well, it was actually, in its own right. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
MG, Riley, Wolseley. They claim Vanden Plas was a the brand, but that's kind of a bit.
Yeah.
Morris, Triumph, all these. I've probably missed some, but yeah, go on. What is there anything that immediately leaps to mind?
Yes, there is.
Oh,
yes, there is. What immediately leapt to mind as soon as you'd ruled out Jag and Rover? Well, we'd probably both choose one of those first if we had to.
Yeah, we would. Yeah.
Well, there's a few, but the first thing that sprung to mind, I'll be honest, the very first thing that sprung to mind, was a Stag, Triumph Stag.
Very, very good choice.
Yes, I've been in one of those as well. Well, we're on the subject of cars I've been in. Yes.
Well,
yeah, I'd choose. I think. Yeah, that's the first thing. Another thing, because I think, strictly speaking, it does come under that ownership, would be a Series 1 Range Rover, but that's depends if you class that as Rover or not.
Oh, that's a grey area. That is.
Yeah, it is a grey area. Yes, exactly.
It's a good point. I should have caveated it further.
Yeah, you see, that is a grey area. However, I don't think either of those is my final answer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, it's a surprise, isn't it? Although it's difficult to move on from the Stag.
Is it a Morris Marina by any chance?
Well, that was a tough call.
Was it?
No. No, it's not a Marina or an ITAL.
I was going to say, you'd be pleased to know that ITAL was still under Leyland ownership, so you can have that.
Or ITAL. I may have used the American pronunciation there. I'm not sure.
I don't care. However you pronounce it does not make it any better.
No, it doesn't. No. I think I would probably go for a Montego.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a countryman, I assume?
Of course. Estate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, indeed. Probably in one of those green colours.
Lovely choice.
Yeah, lovely stuff.
Oh, I'd forgotten all about it. I mean, it's not made me change my mind, but well done. Well done for thinking about
Montego.
that.
Yeah, Montego. I always liked them when they first came out. My dad had a couple of press car Montegos. I think he had a saloon and an estate. Yeah, always liked them. I like the styling. I just thought they were. Yeah, I thought they were good.
There used to be a Montego graveyard very close to here, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I always found it really weird. It was years back, probably when I was mid to late teens. My aunt kept her horse up at stables up near. Oh God, what's it called? Goodley. That's the word I was looking for.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, if you go down some country lanes, you find the stable, and I don't really know why I was there, to be honest. I'm not really a horsey person. But nevertheless, along I went, only to just sort of be wandering around the yard and all that, and just round the corner of a building, go, my goodness me, that's a lot of Montegos.
This is where they all are.
Yeah. I have been up there since, because obviously moved away for quite some time and then came back, and it came up in conversation, I think, with Phil, and I went up there to where
of course, it came up in conversation with Phil.
Yeah. And but I was out and about and happened to be nearby. I was like, oh, I wonder if it's still there. But it was obviously the stables and the farm is still there, but someone's had the Montegos away.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Yeah, I mean they weren't in a brilliant state when I saw them, so I can't imagine another decade or so would have done them any
It's not going
favors.
to have helped, is it?
No.
No, indeed. But no, I always liked the Montego, and the MG variant was tasty as well. That they did the EFI.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Montego, and I doubly like it because you didn't expect that.
Well, I should have, but I mean that is the sort of thing I'm thinking of going. Well, you know what? We've seen. It's really easy to pick a Rover or a Jag, but that's exactly the sort of thing I'm thinking. Going, well done. You thought prime British Leyland, not
it is, isn't it?
Easy choice.
It absolutely is. But if you had to sum up British Leyland other than the Marina, I think the Montego, certainly later British Leyland, I think the Montego does it very well.
I mean, we're all glossing over the one that Phil had, the Princess.
We are. I did briefly think about the Princess, but no, it's not for me, I'm afraid.
I'd tell you what, I really enjoyed that being around.
Yeah.
I enjoyed tinkering on it. I surprisingly quite enjoyed driving it.
I thought it suited Phil quite well. Sorry, Phil. No, I genuinely thought he did.
He did always have a smile when he was driving it, apart from when the gear stick fell out.
Yeah, not then.
No, he wasn't good in so much then. But I like that. Just to carry it, it did actually fall out. He was operating said gear stick, and it fell out the bottom
out of the car. Of course, it did. Yeah, well, that's British Leyland right there, isn't it?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah, that'll do. Yes, exactly. A whole industry based on that'll do.
Yeah.
They might as well have put that on the brochures.
Yes, complacency at its best. There,
that'll do.
Right. Shall I'll festoon you with mine because obviously
where are you going then?
I've sat on this question for ages, so I know what I'm picking.
Yeah, well, it didn't take me long.
No, it didn't. But it seemed a bit mean just to go right. Is the question is my answer, so I thought I'll let you.
No, fair dues.
Mine. If I'm not allowed to pick a Jag or a Rover, the same rules apply to me. I would have a Dolly Sprint.
I did wonder about that. Yeah, good choice. Good
really
choice.
Like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good choice. Slightly earlier than my choice, but yeah.
Yeah. But still, that's a bit of me. I
could see that working for you.
Yeah, and I don't even think that's a cop out. It's a car that, regardless of this caveat or anything like that, I would genuinely be interested. I'd love to have a go in one.
Yeah, I like the styling of those, particularly the Sprint with the twin headlights and alloy wheels and
the first production car with 4 valves per cylinder.
Yes. First production car with alloy wheels, I believe, as standard.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of firsts there. It should be more revered than it is, really.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, a lot of the engineering that British Leyland did was quite clever. It was
I would probably
the building of the cars that was the problem.
Yeah, when you say a lot of the engineering, some of the
engineering was quite clever. Yes. No, some of it genuinely was, but they were just built like crap. That was the problem, wasn't it? Everything, all the components went to the lowest bidder, and you just ended up with complete. Yes. Yes.
But yeah, I'd have that.
I recall James May once talking about the Jaguar XJS and what a brilliant piece of design it was. And he said that, which of course came from the British Leyland Jaguar era, and he said that
very much so.
They had the recipe for a perfect shepherd's pie, and then made it with dog meat.
Yeah.
Should have been brilliant, but because everything was just cheap and not put together properly, it all just fell apart.
Mm. Yeah, he's probably got a point, hasn't he?
Well, certainly the early XJSs were very much like that. But yes, good choice, Dolly Sprint. Yeah, that's a very good choice.
Yeah, and I mean, they've not. I mean, I did have a brief look. They've not entirely gone.
No, they haven't actually. No, they haven't. There's quite a following for that.
Yeah,
you'd find it easier to get a Sprint than I would to get a decent Montego, I think.
Yeah, and I don't think. I mean, yeah, they've gone up, but I don't think I'd be paying through the nose.
No, probably not. I'm gonna head on to our old friend Auto Trader here and just have a quick look.
You're going to do that, right? I'm going to have to sort of say, I think you've probably gone to the wrong place. I'm going to go to Car and Classic.
Oh, Car and Classic. Yes, you're probably right. But let's check both. Let's be thorough.
Yeah.
I need to change that away from Jaguar S-Type,
default,
which is where it's firmly glued these
where it
days.
lives. Yeah,
it is exactly where it lives. Oh dear. What am I doing? It's not under Austin.
No,
Triumph.
No. Oh my goodness me. No, maybe I was talking nonsense.
Are there none there?
Well, there are, but these have been restored.
Okay, no, there's none on Auto Trader at all. There are some Stags, but not, and some Spitfires, but no.
What's the steering wheel doing on that side?
No, we found a left-hand drive one.
Oh, it's from the Netherlands. But not that that's a bad thing. I'm going, oh, do it, and it's but why? So that seems a bit excessive.
Yeah.
Considering it's quite a British car, have we ended up having a left hooker?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's one Montego on Auto Trader there.
Bloody! I mean, this one is immaculate. You could have your dinner off it, but it is 20 grand.
Okay, yeah, this is this Montego Estate that I found. 1985, 33,000 miles from new, 1.6 petrol L, so it's a base one, in a horrible shade of cream, 9 grand.
Well, I've found one on Car and Classic. One. That's your lot.
This is not rich pickings here, is it?
No. And bloody, it's a left hooker. It's in Portugal.
Oh dear.
But that's 2.5 grand, and it's 1.3 petrol. In white. It doesn't look like it's in £2 condition, but I suppose the climate's a tad more agreeable in Portugal than it is here.
Exactly.
But who was registered, a year of registration? Oh, it's not. This isn't a Leyland car, it's an 87. Probably is. But who on earth in Portugal has gone in 1987? I'll have a Montego.
Yeah, that is an unusual choice, isn't it? There's some Dolly Sprints on eBay.
Okay, a bit more agreeable in price.
Not much. Well, it depends what you want. There's a rolling shell here, for 4.5.
Oh.
There's. Oh, here we go. There's a 1980 Dolly Sprint here, in yellow. Looks in really, really tidy condition. That's up for 14 grand. There's another one for 20. There's another one which looks like it's just come out of a river. That's 1900. And that's your lot.
I've gone down the rabbit hole here, and I found a car that is really not badly priced. Yes, it does need some work. It's very much not in the British Leyland time frame. Right. It is an Austin, though. But But the only reason I've ended up looking at it and going, that's really quite impressive. But it's a 1938 Austin 7.
Okay.
It's $3,500 with need of a bit of mechanical stuff and a bit of bodywork, but otherwise it's actually fairly solid and reliable.
It's a bit early for my taste.
The only reason, I mean, again, it's too early for me. The only reason being is it was my granddad's first car.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
that's
it's
fair.
one I always had the stories about it.
Yeah.
So if I'm ever in a position to, it probably wouldn't be the first car that I'd buy as a treat, but if I was in a position to have one, I'd have one for sort of nice days or specific events. It's one of those ones that I go, it's not my thing at all, but because it was a car he spoke of fondly and it was his first taste of freedom, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's why I'd buy one.
Yeah, I can understand that. That's actually quite nice.
Yeah. Well, and he's still the reason I got so into cars.
Yeah. I mean,
because
it's not going to take up a garage, to be fair.
It's not. No, it's very small.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, you could probably pop it on a shelf.
Yes. It's not gonna cause too many issues in terms of weight or anything.
No.
But that's
nice. That's nice.
Right. And yeah, I mean, but the other one is like the car that got me into cars is that's gone as a price because that was he had a Mark V Cortina gear.
Oh yeah, forget about it.
Yep, can't afford that.
No, they've gone.
And that was amazing.
That's nice. That's nice.
I used to wake up when I was staying around their place, and they said they'd come and find me at 7 a.m. I'd already got into the garage just to have a sit in the car.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Bad. Yeah, that's proper.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, we've gone down a rabbit hole there. Yeah, but anyway, back to the
good.
I'm having a Dolly Sprint, and you're having a Montego Countryman.
Yeah. Okay. If I can find one, you're spending more than I am.
Yes, it turns out I am. I thought I was doing all right,
but by quite a lot, I think.
Oh dear, my research was limited and crap, as it turns out.
There's not many of either. To be fair, the choice is extremely limited.
I tell you what, I would like to know now is now we've put that out there, and we know how much Phil is. Well, I don't necessarily say fan of British Leyland, but very interested in.
Knowledgeable.
Definitely. But he's not allowed a Jag or a Rover either. What's he picking?
Oh. I saw one earlier. I saw a car advertised earlier. It was on one of the Facebook groups, like cars for less than £3,000. Or there's various groups that I'm members of. I'm sure you are too. And there was one on there. And I thought, now he might find this very insulting, but I know you're not adverse to that.
No, I seem to do that every week. Although we've not mentioned any films or TV this week, so
you'll be all right.
Yeah.
No, I just saw this, and I genuinely wasn't trying to be, mean or poke fun. It just generally, it was the first thought that came into my head was, Phil would really good in that.
But would really like that, or look really good in that.
Yeah, look right with it, I think, is probably
okay. God, where's this going? Where's this going?
I wonder whether I should make you guess. But I probably won't be able to find the advert now, but I do remember what the car was.
Oh, go on then.
It was a Marina Estate.
Oh. I don't think he's going to thank you for that.
No, I don't suppose he is.
No.
I'm just being honest. It was the first thought that came to my head. Advert for Marina Estate, and I thought, Phil.
We do associate him with British Leyland, but I don't think even he'd be that interested.
No, I don't suppose he would, to be fair.
No, I don't.
I think it was the fact that it was the estate.
Yeah. I mean, that made a
difference.
I'm not sure it makes it any more interesting because I don't think that's possible, is it?
No. I mean, this, to be fair, it looked quite tidy. Some of
I mean, that's great and all, but
yeah.
I mean, if only Top Gear was still in the air, they could have lobbed a piano on it. And
They could have. Well, they never destroyed an estate, I seem to recall. They only did saloons.
Yeah. That was they had a real penchant for that, and that really upset some people on the internet.
It did. There are some people who'll never forgive them.
No, mind you, that people still get a bit twitchy about. I remember when they did the in recent times when it changed to Chris Harris and Paddy McGuinness and Freddie Flintoff. They did a bit of a Bond special.
I seem to remember something about that.
Yeah, and they did some really interesting stuff on there, like Chris Harris in the 2000 GT or stuff like that. Just fascinating things. But then they did the fun challenge of can you drive the sawn in half Renault?
Yes, I remember. Yes,
and then Car Twitter went, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" He went,
"Yeah."
Chris Harris has already caveated this and said these were scrap cars from France with no chance of being put back on the road. Don't worry. But that's just ridiculous.
I doubt they could have found 3 roadworthy versions in this country. They have completely disappeared.
No, they were scrappers from France, and it's just everyone gets so twitchy about it. You just go,
yeah, they do.
You do realise it is an entertainment show now. You can relax a little bit.
Yeah. I see both sides.
I just think, come on, pinch of salt. Chris Harris is not going to destroy a car for the sake of it. He's one of us.
No, he's not. That's very true. Yeah, he wouldn't let them smash up something nice.
No, and it's just everyone just needs to calm down. It's not just Twitter. It's just everyone on the internet just needs to calm down.
Oh, they do. It's the whole world. Yeah.
Just
everybody's very angry at the moment.
Yeah, they are. But I tell you what, while we're on that, because everyone reacts to, like, they'll see a post and go, I've interpreted that as fact. I am now angry.
Yes.
I had a bit of cyber training at work to help determine what was nonsense news and what's real news.
Yeah,
it was good. Yeah. And I am now, I kid you not, I am now a certified human firewall.
Oh my God. Well, no, you see, they've got the word slightly wrong.
Oh, I see. What are you thinking?
There are times where you can be a bit explosive.
Oh, right. Okay, so we're just swapping out just one letter there. Then we're
we are. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but no, that's it. I kid you not. I have a certificate.
They have no idea with whom they're dealing.
Hey, I passed with flying colours. Thank you very much.
Oh dear. No, I'm gonna have to have a word. This is not on. They're just playing with fire there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Well, on that note, we can end the show, and you can be safe in the knowledge that you're in the hands of a fully certified human firewall.
Oh God. Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.